What's up, everybody? It's the movie guy. So I was scrolling through Tubi and I came across Time After Time, which I have not seen this movie in so long. I love this movie. You might have seen it, you might have not seen it, you might love this movie. But if you've never seen Time After Time, it is a movie guy recommendation. It's on Tubi. You should check it out. Stars Malcolm McDowell as H.G. Wells, and also stars David Warner as John Leslie Stevenson, aka Jack the Ripper. And Mary Steenburgen's also in this, and a very young Corey Feldman, but I'll get to that in a minute. So basically, H.G. Wells builds a time machine, no duh, and the Bobbies are the police in London, 1893, goes to H.G. Wells's place and basically is saying somebody here is doing I can't say that word, what Jack the Ripper does. Um and John Leslie Stevenson steals the time machine, goes to 1979. The time machine comes back because H.G. Wells has the key. H.G. Wells goes in the time machine and goes to 1979 to go after Jack the Ripper. And then the time machine, when it arrives in 1979, arrives at a museum in San Francisco, which the museum is having a H.G. Wells time machine exhibit. And H.G. Wells is in the time machine, and that's when the very young Corey Feldman is like, Mom, look, there's somebody in the time machine. And I was just like, Corey Feldman, like, what the heck? So, this was directed by Nicholas Meyer, who directed Star Trek, The Wrath of Khan. He also directed Star Trek, Undiscovered Country, and he also directed my favorite Star Trek movie, which I'm not a Star Trek fan at all, but I love this movie. He directed The Voyage Home. Nicholas Rosa did the score for this movie also. And this is really interesting. Originally, John Leslie Stevenson, aka Jack the Ripper, was going to be played by the Rolling Stones' Mick Jagger, but Herb Jaffe, the producer, and Nicholas Meyer was pushing for David Warner to get the role. They went to Warner Brothers and was like, "Hey, we really want David Warner for the character of Jack the Ripper." Malcolm McDowell, to actually get into the role, actually listened to a recording of H.G. Wells's voice and was really surprised that he had a very kind of squeaky voice when he talked, and he just did not expect H.G. Wells to sound like that. He actually used the voice from the recording in a couple of scenes in this movie. So this has an 88% from Rotten Tomatoes from the critics and 72% from the fans. I tried to look up the budget for this, and the budget I think was at like 3.2 million was the budget on this, and actually made $13 million at the box office. And it's really interesting because Mary Steenburgen was talking about, because I love looking up facts like after the movie, learning stuff about a movie that I did not know about. But Mary Steenburgen obviously falls in love with H.G. Wells in this movie, and then later on falls in love with Doc Brown in Back to the Future 3. Also, I think there's a deleted scene where I think H.G. Wells, I was reading it online, where he's on a bus and there's like a punk rocker with like the loud stereo playing. So that was the idea that he got from this movie for The Voyage Home, when Spock and Captain Kirk is on the bus, and then Spock takes out the guy on the bus and everybody claps. So he got the idea from this movie. Also, Cyndi Lauper got the idea for her hit song Time After Time, where she would flip through a TV guide to look up words to use for her songs. And she saw this movie in the TV guide and used it for one of her songs. But like, it's funny to see H.G. Wells in 1979. He is so out of place. He just walking around like it would be like me going to a different country and just like walking around like, wait, what is this and stuff and everything. But this is, you know what? Oh, real quick, I forgot to mention. I almost forgot to mention this real quick before I kind of give my score. This actually was nominated and actually won some Saturn awards. Um, it won. Nicholas Rosa won for Best Music for Time After Time, and Mary Steenburgen actually won for Best Actress. Malcolm McDowell was nominated for Best Actor for H.G. Wells in this movie. David Warner was nominated for Best Supporting Actor. Nicholas Meyer was nominated for Best Director. This was also nominated for Best Sci-Fi Movie, and it was also nominated for Best Costumes. In 2017, this movie actually won Best DVD / Blu-ray Classic Movie, which is kind of interesting. There's a lot of critics that says that this is the best classic back in time futuristic time traveling movie there is to date in Hollywood. I think it's up there. I think it's like I mean, my score is a 10 out of 10. It's an epic fantastic movie. I love the directing on this. I love the music. I love the acting between David Warner and Malcolm McDowell, Jack the Ripper, H.G. Wells, and then between Mary Steenburgen and Malcolm McDowell. So it's an epic, fantastic movie. It's a 10 out of 10. I love this movie so much. And it, like I said, if you haven't seen Time After Time, I highly suggest watching it. Anyway, that's it from the movie guy. Hopefully everybody has a great night. I will talk to you later.